All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're tackling a real puzzle in the crypto world, the price of XRP. I mean, you look around and see other assets going on these wild rides, but XRP's price has been, well, kind of flat. But what if that stability isn't a bug? What if it's a core feature of a hidden structure being built right under our noses? Let's uncover it.
So yeah, this is the big question, right? Why so stable? The source material we're looking at today makes a pretty bold claim. Most people are watching the wrong thing. They're glued to the price charts, waiting for some big explosion. But the real story, this hidden structure, is being built quietly, just below the surface. This stability, it's not weakness, it's construction.
To really get what's going on, we have to go back to the beginning. And the source points us to a key insider, a guy named Greg Kidd. Now, he wasn't just some early investor, he was one of the original architects at Ripple. We're talking one of the first 8 people. He was literally in the room when the blueprint for XRP was drawn up. So his perspective, it's absolutely crucial for understanding the original vision.
And boom, here it is, the key to the whole puzzle, straight from Kidd himself. The focus was never, ever on price or hype or some flashy marketing campaign. From day one, the goal was one thing and one thing only: liquidity. Just that one idea completely changes how you have to look at XRP's performance.
So what does he actually mean by liquidity? Well, think about it. If you're building a bridge asset that's designed to move trillions with a T, trillions of dollars between countries and huge financial systems, you just can't have crazy volatility. You need deep, stable pools of money so that these massive transactions don't send the price spiraling. So that boring price action, according to this thesis, that's the system working exactly as it's supposed to. It's all about building trust and stability.
Okay, so if liquidity is the main goal, where's the proof? This isn't just a theory. The source argues that the evidence is actually hiding in plain sight. You just have to know where to look. Major institutions are building the infrastructure to use this very system. They're not just speculating, they are laying the financial plumbing for what comes next.
And listen, we're not talking about small-time players here. We're talking about the absolute titans of global finance: BlackRock, JP Morgan, Fidelity, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley. According to the source, these giants, they don't follow trends, they set them. They're here to build, to use their capital in the smartest way possible, and to position themselves for the long, long haul.
This slide just lays it out perfectly. It's like two different worlds. On one side, you've got the retail mindset, right? It's all about hype, chasing volatility. But on the other side, you've got the institutional view. They could care less about hype. They're focused on structure, on utility. They need stability and deep liquidity to operate at their scale. They're not chasing the market, they basically are the market.
So what is it that unlocks the door for these massive institutions? It's the regulatory green lights. The source points to these absolutely crucial approvals, like a license from the FCA in the UK and an officially accepted charter banking license in the US. Now, these aren't just minor headlines. These are the keys that allow all that institutional capital to finally flood in. Compliance isn't a barrier here, it's the gateway.
And this brings us to this really great metaphor that the source uses to tie this all together. To really get XRP's role in all of this, you have to stop thinking of it like a tech stock and start thinking of it like a fundamental commodity.
Just let that sink in for a second. Oil, it's not sexy. It doesn't have a cool social media story, but it is absolutely 100% essential. It's the utility layer that lets the global economy actually function, to move valuable stuff from point A to point B. The argument here is that XRP is being set up to do the exact same thing, but for money itself.
So let's break that down. First, it's essential. It's this neutral layer that sits between all these different systems. Second, it's boring. And that is the whole point. Its value comes from being reliable, not from being volatile. And third, it's foundational. The argument is that these new financial rails just can't work efficiently at a global scale without it. Okay, so we've talked utility, we've talked institutional adoption, we've talked liquidity, but I know what you're thinking. What about the price? This final section is where we connect all the dots and lay out the source's theory on how value is actually created in this whole process. This is probably the most important sequence to understand. The source says most people have it completely backward. They think hype is what's supposed to drive the price, but the real sequence is this. First, you build its usefulness. Then, second, you establish that deep, stable liquidity, and only then, after that entire foundation is built, does the price follow as a natural result of real systemic demand.
And really, this is the ultimate takeaway. That long period of stability we've seen isn't a failure. It's the construction phase. The price was never meant to be the first domino to fall. It's the final one, the one that tips over only after the utility and the liquidity have been painstakingly put into place. It's a game that rewards understanding the long-term structure, not short-term impatience.
So we'll leave you with this final thought, straight from our source material. If this whole thesis is correct, and the world's financial plumbing is being quietly rebuilt around a new utility layer, what happens when someone finally flips the switch and turns that system on? It's a question that completely reframes the entire narrative, doesn't it? Thanks for tuning in.